said, this has been a great week. This is not my first experience with the Fiesta Bowl, and the reputation of hospitality in the Valley of the Sun is second to none, and it certainly has been that way this entire week. So we're anxious to get going and we'll play a great team. The two traditional powers get to go play each other and put on a good show for the country to watch. So thank you.
We'll open it up to questions now. Over here on my right.
Coach, over to your right here. You talked a lot about your relationship with Braxton. Have you had some moments this week, and just talk about what he's meant to Ohio State again, if you don't mind?
Oh, I think the entire senior class, we feel very strongly with, not to go too far backwards, but a group of coaches came walking in after the second loss season, and it was kind of a leap of faith, blind faith for some people to follow a group of coaches, and they did. And what that group has done is rather phenomenal. Braxton personally, his journey is a very unique journey. He'll certainly be in the history books of Ohio State football forever as one of the truly great players. But one of the things that I always admire is a great player that does things right. He's a graduate. He's a guy that made a position switch. He's gone through two very tough surgeries, Big Ten Player of the Year 2 years in a row, and just a lot of respect for Braxton.
Right here in front.
Yeah, for both of you. For both of you guys, tomorrow looks like a sort of a cavalcade though of possible NFL talent. Do you see that too as you look at these rosters? What just jumps out at you?
Well, certainly, I think Urban has done an incredible job recruiting depth in this program, and we certainly have players on our team that have proven themselves over the last few years that are NFL caliber players. I think the most important thing is both teams have developed these players. They weren't all ready-made players. These were guys that have developed through the program, and we know a lot of them because we recruit against each other for a lot of these guys, and we've seen them develop. So I think it's a testament to both programs that we've developed so many players that can play on championship teams and get their degrees and go on to the NFL.
On the right in the back here.
Coach Kelly, if you would talk about the resiliency of your team after so many injuries, and also just your thoughts specifically on the Ohio State team.
Well, I think the biggest challenge in playing Ohio State, certainly it's easy to recognize talent. It's easy to recognize speed and physicality, but the things that you don't recognize are when you play a team that has won so much, what it doesn't show you is resolve. And this football team knows how to win. They've got great resolve. They're going to fight for 4 quarters, and that, it doesn't measure itself relative to size, speed, strength. It's hard, and so you're going to play that kind of team today or tomorrow, and that's the most difficult opponent to play. And so, yeah, they've got very good players. There's no question about it, but they have more than that, and that's been instilled in them. So, that's the biggest challenge. We think we've got some of that as well, and we're going to need that tomorrow. So you're going to have 2 teams that have a will, that have a resolve, that have a toughness, a mental toughness that's needed in this game, because it's not always just about skill, size, and speed.
On the right here again.
Urban, this is really 2 separate questions, but could you just talk about what went into your decision that Adolphus Washington would not play in this game, and then what went into your decision that Ezekiel Elliott, after his incident, would be able to play in this game?
Oh, it was, to me, one's a traffic violation issue, and then one was something rather more serious. I'm not going to get into much more detail than that. Just completely a different set of circumstances.
Front row on the left.
Both of you have been very successful at the college level. Seems like every year college coaches are lured to the NFL. Chip Kelly was the latest example. Most of them don't succeed. How tempting is it as a college coach think about going to the NFL? And what do you have to know about yourself to know whether that's the right thing for you?
This is one of those. I don't think it's tempting at all. I think, we're focused. We get these questions all the time. I'm sure everyone gets it as well. It's really not tempting at all. I mean, we're so focused on what we do on a day-to-day basis. That we don't kind of sit around going, boy, that like the coach in the NFL. We have our hands full on a day-to-day basis coaching the 18 to 22-year-olds, and that takes up a lot of our time and effort. So there's not a magical day where we kind of wander around thinking about the NFL. At least I don't. And then secondly, the success ratio of college coaches to the NFL. I don't know that I've ever sat down and thought about that either. But if you're a ball coach, you can coach anywhere. I mean, there are high school coaches that are better than me. If you can coach, if you can teach, if you can educate, if you can motivate and organize, I think you can coach anywhere.
Really, I think, once again, I can just push Coach Kelly and same exact quote or same exact reflection is spend very little time, especially this time of year, man, there's so much going on with bowl season, recruiting, staff adjustments, those type of things going on. I've never really spent much time thinking about it.
Any other questions? Tim?
Yeah, Urban asked a while ago about the cavalcade of talent, and Brian answered, but you didn't get a chance to. But do you get a sense this is the last rodeo for a lot of guys in this team, not just your seniors? And how have you addressed that, I guess, with them this week about keeping their eye on the ball one last time for Ohio State?
Yeah, three have already said they're going to leave, and that's Zeke and Joey and Cardell. It is a very good junior class. I take my hat off to them because I know what's out there. I know the agents. I know the pressures that are being put. I can relate it back to 2008, I believe, or 9, when we had at least 12 to 15 guys put in paperwork for the NFL draft. And it's tough on it's tough on them. It's tough on us because of the recruiting. A lot of these kids are early commits, and you lose this whole group of people. So a lot of decisions have not been made. And we'll have that. They agreed, and we all agreed to be pros. And what do pros do? Pros attack the task at hand, and the task at hand is to represent the Ohio State University against Notre Dame in one of the best bowl games in the country. So it's been very good. It's been very, but it's out there, and it's no alarming. I remember Coach Saban said that the other day. Last year, we had a conversation on the phone about that, about the timing of all this. And it's not good, but I don't know where better is, as far as motivation, for the bowl game, and then the recruiting aspect to keep your program alive and going. So those are all, that's the way it is. And I'd rather be in that situation than have a bunch of not very good players.
Right on the left.
An easier one for you. Could you address the health situation you see? Nick Bennett, I know wasn't here yesterday. I'm not sure if Darren Conley was. What is it?
Yeah, Nick Bennett had just an upper, he was sick. He's fine. He practiced yesterday. Who was the other guy?
Conley? Didn't see
He's
him.
fine, same thing. Cold or, that was it.
Next question. No more questions then. We'll have the coaches move over to the trophy for the photo opportunity. Again, please make sure you stand behind the white tape. Thank you.